Welcome back to the Innovation Space. I'm Sushil Rajaratnam, Project Strategist of the Innovation Series. We hope these sessions have inspired you to be innovative in the various sectors you represent. Our goal is to create a cross-cultural, inclusive platform for collaboration and hope, with a global reach that inspires innovative thinkers and leaders to instill positive change. Governments are looking more closely into behavioral change insights to design new systems that facilitate better interconnectedness within cities and communities. It is also our role to be part of rebuilding our shattered communities, and we believe innovative thinking will help us rebuild our communities with mechanisms that facilitate deeper collaboration and a collaboration for the new future. A few instructions before we begin. First, we sure would like to get to know every one of you. Please type your name and location in the chat box. Second, the Q&A portal will be enabled during the talk for today's session, which will be followed by an interview with the speaker. As we move towards the interview, we will select a few questions from the Q&A section and have them discussed by our speaker. You may include your email along with your query, and if you're not able to answer your questions live, we will have a response for you later on. Third, please provide feedback in our poll at the end of the session today so that we can keep improving these sessions. And please sign up for future installments of our innovation series. Today, we are hearing from Ms. Maria Sanchez at Tec de Monterrey in Mexico and Art Electronica and Art Thinking in Australia to speak about innovation in arts. Maria Sanchez is a Mexican philosopher, dancer, entrepreneur, and a researcher who focuses her exploration on the intersection between human and machine movement. She is head leader of Garden Art Electronica Tech ELA and also a representative in Latin America of the Australian company Art Thinking. She is professor and mentor to emerging entrepreneurs at several universities across Mexico. Maria Sanchez focuses on opening bridges among the humanities, art, science, and technology for the creation and implementation of programs that positively impact and produce innovative solutions for customers, the knowledge economy, and future citizens' challenges. She is judge and mentor of Entrepreneurship and Innovation Mexican Ecosystem. In 2020, she was selected Ambassador of Guadalajara Ambassadors Program of the Ministry of Tourism. Maria Sanchez co-founded Culturist, a creative, scalable, and self-sustainable startup in digital cultural tourism. This innovative proposal reflects her perspective and focus on public engagement, citizen science, and the incorporation of digital humanity technologies, continuing its mission to give more value by integrating different disciples into the projects that look into the future of intelligent cities and the interrelationship with citizens. We are grateful that Maria Sanchez accepted our invitation to collaborate with us on the Innovation Series. Please welcome Maria Sanchez.
Thank you very much. It was a great honor, of course, to Trinity Western University and all the team for this initiative, innovation to share knowledge. And of course, thank you to the Technologic of Monterrey to make possible this international collaboration and cooperation of knowledge and interchange. So thank you very much to the audience to be here. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of art thinking with a case of the study of way, in application way, not just in theory, to make content and to enjoy. So first of all, thank you for sharing a little bit about me. As you mentioned, I am a philosopher, a dancer, and research, and I love to work with multiple projects based in the nexus of transdisciplinarity, collaboration between art, science, technology, and society. I am the head leader of Tequila Hub. In the next slide. Leader Tequila Hub and representative of Art Thinking Australia. I study philosophy and social science. I have a formal education like a performance in dance teacher, and I have a dance member of Las Cabales, a company from flamenco. I'm really interested in research and human and machine interaction and question ourselves, like how we connect and express ourselves with the work through phenomenology, another amazing part of the philosophy. I direct and I was project manager of the candidacy of UNESCO Media Arts in Guadalajara, my city. And I was a research and guest in the Future Lab Academy from Ars Electronica Kuzan University of Technology in 2008. Well, this is a little bit about me, and the photo you will see like my passion of dancing in flamenco. Next. So like I say, I'm going to talk about in the mindset of art thinking, not just in the theory, because I don't like to say methodology. I like to say like art thinking in Ars Electronica. Really, this is the purpose. And foresee that we're gonna go through to a practical way of application. And this way is gonna be how Ars Electronica start to make all the festivals and all the locations in Garden we will go through. So let's talk about next. 2020. Okay, 2020. What a 2020. Well, for us, it was time to stop ourselves, ask questions, and some questions about the economy of the future. How we build the links of science, art, and technology. How we look for a better bridges between our different disciplines. How tradition meets innovation. How innovation meets tradition. And how we collaborate together, not just a better place for a few, a better place for most of the people. That was a really big challenge, and mostly in Mexico. Next. So complex systems. If we are talking about globally, we have to talk about that how we see in COVID, complex systems requires transdisciplinarity collaboration, responsibilities, local and global connection and inclusion for innovation. Next. And in that case, I like to this phrase because art is the ability to ask questions and innovation is the ability to respond. Next. So how this start? I'm gonna talk a little bit about Ars Electronica, this amazing organization that start to make this intersection between art, science, and technology. And it has really important points. Since 42 years, since the 79, you will see a number of projects of media art, digital activists, future lab, and that consisted the innovation mechanism positions ourselves as a global leaders without losing original and disruptive touch. So everything where Ars Electronica is also about experiment and think like an artist. Next. Since 42 years old, Ars Electronica has provided a unique and creative cultural and social ecosystem. Why is important this? Why we have to remember? Because we don't want to state in a simple answers. We want to understand creativity and look at new paths and new meanings. We want something like when you feel that something doesn't fit, you are in a reality that is not right, you have to go and new ways to make the things. That doesn't fit, and we have to go to change and make another reality. Next. So that reality goes with art doesn't leave the science, because science creates knowledge by explaining things, and art creates knowledge through experience and understanding. Next. And this is art thinking all about. So what is next? We will see like what is art thinking. Well, art thinking, like I say, is not a methodology. You have to remember that. Is a way to think, is an attitude from the art thinking school. And we have to discover opportunities from the explanation different disciplines. We have to explore new solutions through creativity questions. So we just don't want to go to the solutions and make quickly answers. We really want to feel all the ideation programs, process, and think about why we are making the things. Next. And this is like water, like Jorge, the director of Future Lab, said, art is like water and everything can get wet. So let's go and get wet with this amazing presentation. So we have different partners in the next slide. Next, we have made many collaborations globally, different companies, institutions, government, industries, universities. And what is that? Because if we go and we talk about transdisciplinarity, we also have to talk of different way of make relations with the partners. And it's why we have this range possibilities to understand how the universities go and work, how industry, and make this intersection of projects. Next. So let's see a little bit associated stories that have a little bit of range what content we were looking for from different communities, activists, social impact, and the last trends. Next. Well, this is a big case of study. I don't know if you maybe hear or see a little bit about it, about the drones flying. Well, this project came from 2012 in the Future Lab Arts Academy. They start to think how we can correlate or how can intersect different industries, how we illuminate the sky with an alternative ways of fireworks. This was a paradigm shift out of the outdoor projects in the system. This was a combination of industries and the future of the events. So think out of the box, make this happen that maybe you see in the Olympic games, or maybe you see in the Super Bowl, but how this start, it was really important to think out the box to make this possible. You will see a little bit how this starts. So, as a dancer, we see this interaction between humans and machine expressions, and the research of how we express ourselves between humans and machines, again, came with the main questions, how humans and machines express themselves, how we can have another non-verbal communication is possible, how we're going to communicate in the future. And this interaction with industry and flying drones and automatization machines make think about it, what is our role in life? So let's see a little bit of that. All these ideas, all these amazing things, where they go? Well, we have a common place in the reflection of these questions, and these shared new ideas make sense with an annual festival the Arts Electronica do since 42 years old. And the festival 2020 was amazing. Since the conception of the festival is no magic. Understand that. The never is going to be magic. The festival changed the city. Never going to change the city. The change is going to change the citizens, and the citizens we want to change our future. And this is really important, how we make the process of making content. Next. So each year, like I say, have a specific theme, thinking in the future in a global term. And as we know, the world's largest showcase is media and media creativity technology is Arts Electronica Festival. It's an amazing playground for future trends and future digital era. It's 5 days, 106 locations and around the world. It's an amazing year to see how everyone is thinking and building to the intersection of art, science, and technology. It's crazy. I totally recommend go there. And get a little bit. Next, it was different, not only because it was Mexico and tequila there in the festival, but also because we connect in the network. So when COVID came, a lot of festivals, they say, I don't gonna go, but Arts Electronica made an impressive work of how we have to be connected instead of no physical. Well, we have to build this connection. And it was really impressive to see different localities representative new problems, questions, creativity through virtual content. So how can I go to tequila without being there? How can the localities can show a little bit about and feel that we are still connected?
We are here on the main square of Linz, the city that has a long tradition in transformation. A transformation that is coined by industry, by other circumstances, but also by the culture and by the arts. And what you see around me is a circle of 120 chairs from the wonderful Baroque monastery of St. Florian. Each chair is representing the absence of the guests that we are normally expecting. But in times like that, where nobody is able to travel, this is a symbol for the beautiful transformation the international crowd is doing normally in this 1 week when Ars Electronica is on in the city of Linz.
Welcome everybody to Ars Electronica 2020 in
Silicon Valley,
Linz,
Oslo,
Belgrade, Montreal,
Tequila, Riga,
Barcelona,
Auckland, Osaka,
Seoul,
Australia,
Yamaguchi,
Adriatic Sea, Porto, New York, Athens, Moscow, Paris,
Taipei, London,
Buenos Aires,
New York City,
Berlin,
Jakarta,
Stockholm, Johannesburg,
we see you there.
Okay, so how everything looks, you will see like 120 locations, how this amazing festival works. Well, we have 4 channels with 24/7 navigation and dive into different channels. For example, we have a Mozilla Hub. In this hub, you can go virtuality and you can be with an avatar in the Gallery of Portugal, thinking what is the next step that they are doing and working together. So it was amazing how 82 days of content work together to find ourselves. Okay, but how we do it and how Mexican do it, each contact with our thinking mindset. Next. Well, Mexico, tequila. We love tequila, but also we understand how this is not just a product, it's more amazing than that. So next, this is the main page of the garden. And it was like not only about the problems that we are going to face, but how we elaborate the content with the questions, like I say, and the future, for example, of tourism in tequila, the future of the city, or the future of sustainability of the projects and the products, or the future of the hybrid life that we are living on. Content that have so many expressions to think about what we are doing and what we have to do, but not in the thinking, again, in the doing. Next. So Art Electronica, we make this rational with Tequila Artesano Culture, Tequila Clan, which is an Nahuatl word for workplace. Tequila region with qualified design of origin in Jalisco, Mexico, or how we say in Spanish, designación de origen. Artesanal is a person who works with the hands. It's really important to understand where Mexico, where we come from, what is our roots. And culture, cult is with modern, disruptive, renovation. And for this, it's very important for us, like think about, again, never forget where we come from and what we want to face in the future. Better than I say, you will see in the next video.
El festival es un viaje a través de los ecosistemas conectados en red, en los que la gente de todo el mundo está trabajando para desarrollar y dar forma a nuestro futuro. Bienvenidos a Tequila Garden.
La combinación de ciencia, tecnología y con mucha frecuencia una inspiración artística producirá innovación, además de una manera todavía mucho más redonda, mucho más completa, que vendrá a ser soluciones innovadoras.
Ars Electronica es una institución realmente que ha inspirado a muchísimos lugares y a muchísimos lugares del mundo a ser mejor, a pensar en innovación, pensar en futuro, a no quedarte con lo que ya establecido, a salirte de la caja.
Es la manera en la que México está diciéndole al mundo, aquí estamos, somos auténticos, tenemos lo nuestro, pero también estamos creando valor a nivel mundial y estamos subidos a esta ola de generación de tecnología, de generación de valor, pero desde nuestra identidad propia, ¿no?
Parte del arte de hacer tequila es combinar las tradiciones con la innovación y con la tecnología. Yo no me puedo imaginar a la industria tequilera el día de hoy sin complementarla con toda la innovación y con toda la tecnología que se ha dado para este producto.
Yo creo que este sí es un parteaguas, no es solo el año, es también la forma en que tenemos que buscar las herramientas y esta herramienta le va a ayudar a las personas que huelen la ciencia, que sientan la ciencia, que realmente imaginen más allá.
Y hay que ver otras visiones porque es lo que nos nutre, yo creo, como humanos, ¿no? Conocer otra visión de otro lugar, de otro espacio, de otras personas e integrarlas a nuestro mundo. Eso nos hace crecer, eso nos hace ser más abiertos, eso nos hace hasta ser un poco más incluso románticos con la idea de la humanidad.
Algo que me gusta mucho de Arts Electrónica es este precepto de pensar con el arte o artistear con el pensamiento, ¿no? Este retruécano, este quiasmo que hay ahí, ese juego, me llama mucho la atención y quiero pues participar esta vez y aprender mucho del proceso de lo que es Arts Electrónica.
I like to call Guadalajara as traditionally modern. Everything is going to be together and it is going to be a unique appliance and will represent what Mexico is and by all means what Guadalajara is.
Este año Arts Electrónica lo que hace diferente es invita a hacer un viaje a través de los diferentes países y propuso un viaje a través de los ecosistemas, a través de las redes, a través de los hubs, y eso es importante porque además cada una de las ciudades va a hacer y va a mostrar las problemáticas y va a encontrarse con su futuro a la manera de cómo vamos a resolver.
Hay desde contenidos súper experimentales hasta contenidos muy académicos o contenidos que pueden ser muy interactivos y otros que son solamente de espectadores.
No se deben perder el evento de Arts Electrónica al Tequila Garden 2020 porque va a ser la primera vez que vamos a juntar la tradición mexicana del tequila con el arte y la tecnología de Arts Electrónica.
No se pierdan esta edición de Arts Electrónica 2020 porque está cargado de arte.
Welcome to Tequila Garden.
Bienvenido.
Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
Well, our experience. I love to see this. Actually, I get really excited when I see my town and the people working with that passion in the middle of the pandemic. So the experience that we made is really important because we have 340 people working together in a hybrid way, in a distance way, in the middle of all the creative people was thinking that it was nothing I'd be able to make. And we make 6 experience. Next slide. Next. 6 experience in a collaboration with Austria, and we create and design by more than 30 and 40 people, like I say, working together. And we were able to see and to think how we're gonna change these things. So I'm gonna explain a little bit about the experience. Next, we have the Tequila Maestro Artesano workshop. Imagine that everything closed, the bars closed, and the tequila city and everything was closed. And we produced a workshop. You can taste the tequila, you can be in your home and receive a package and understand how is the process that we make since a lot of time ago, with the materials of the hands, the history behind the master artisanal, the future of the industry, and we do cross disciplines like astronomy, legacy, geological conditions, and of course with artificial intelligence. Then we have the Tapatio Rhapsody. What this is about? Well, this is a performance with audiovisual piece based in the Mexican culture, and how we understand that since the pandemic started and the city started to be empty. So we talk about the frameworks about past, present, and future, art, technology, and science, and mean and shape the destiny of classic folklore and contemporary. In this amazing piece making by Paris Dia, we understand, and he put a camera in the city, and we see how was changing the way or the rhythm of life, also talking with a music that I totally recommend. The next slide. Next, we have we have hybridization of art. Okay, in these questions is like how we want to collaborate the artists and the machines. So more and more common is how we make inspiration and extend the imagination. So GAN-Vader is an artificial and open source neural network that processes images and reinterprets the produce of the results. So we chose and select different images, and we curate, and we have different results. So we think about the next generation based in neural networks and produce text with algorithms and giving new meanings. There is amazing results. For example, in artificial intelligence, we put some people, and the algorithm decide that it's not going to be people there in the future. So we have to start to talk about these ethical things, about how we want to work together in this virtual hybridization. Next. And then we have the research summit. So all the thinking things, we have a summit for all the innovation people from Guadalajara, technology, business, local people, communities, and cross ideas to action. And these go to accelerator programs. And we start the programs in the next year for be there. Next. And of course, something that I love and you will love, I believe, is Gala Mariachi Drone. So it's a special in the sky by Ars Electronica, of course, inspired by Ars Electronica. And you see a spectacular collaboration between the mariachis, the orchestra, the scientists, and we, well, I don't want to talk about more, maybe you will see here.
Por eso estamos trabajando en este proyecto para poder transmitir lo que significa ser mexicano, no solo en este país, sino alrededor del mundo.
Su alegría a mi tierra mexicana. Yo le canto a sus volcanes, a sus praderas y flores, que son como talismanes del amor de mis amores. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos de ti, que digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan a ti. Que digan que estoy dormido y que me traigan a ti. México lindo y querido, si muero lejos
you. So imagine what people feel inside of the house thinking, and the song says, Mexico, if I die, no close of you. So, well, you can see later in YouTube. But this is a little bit about the numbers. I'm gonna do a little bit faster. So it was a phenomenal content and what we produced there. Next. So why is all that? Well, we think about culture innovation, tradition means innovation, like I say, and understand about collaboration, transdisciplinarity, and future perspective are like a passion driving force, aware to express ourselves. For next, we want to see all the locations that we were in this festival and a little bit about each one.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are confirmed to go for orbit. 8.5 down, 20 feet. 15 forward. 11 forward, coming down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down, 5.5 pounds. Within 50 feet, 6.5 down, 5.5 pounds. 9 forward. Good. 20 feet. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. 5%. 185. 75 feet. That's looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on. 6. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. Good. 40 feet, down 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Right shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward, drift into the right little. Ready? Down a half. 30 seconds forward. Good. Ready? Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Of course, nothing of that is possible without an amazing team. Andrea is the project manager. Well, we have so many people working also in Ars Electronica, 2,000 people. Next, we have Rafa, we have Fernando, and we have the Minister of Culture, the Minister of Innovation, the MIND. It was a lot of people working that you cannot imagine that it was in the middle of the pandemic. And next, so thank you so much. It's an incredible audience here from a lot of parts of the world, from different cultures that make us feel more connected. And the mindset of art to work to connect to the people. Art is questions the world, and creativity is the nexus of art, technology, and science. In a way, we can shape the way we live and interact with our environment. So thank you very much for being here. And next, gracias in Spanish.
Thank you so much for your great presentation, Maria. And it's great to see you and have you join us from Mexico for our innovation series. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and hopefully you'll be able to take some time here and answer them. The first question, the innovation series is about innovation coming out of the pandemic and how it's going to change our lives and how we think. So my question is, given the challenges we've faced this year through the pandemic, how can art thinking play a role in bringing us back together as communities and bringing the world back together into relationship with each other?
Okay, thank you. Great question. Well, if we think in the mindset, I will say, of art thinking, because that was the way of the presentation also, we have to see how we open spaces and collaborate together. But how? Okay, we have to open spaces and open experience, because we are correlated with the world. For so long time, we forgot that we are just not be alone. And the pandemic showed how somewhere else have an impact in another part of the world. So this is the first. And think about, again, that we are a creative people. Every day you wake up, you make creative things, and you correlate it with the people and the environment. So we have to understand this at the beginning, and then these spaces is gonna make change the way we see and we collaborate with other ones.
Thank you so much. You mentioned in your presentation that art is language. And my background is in psychology, and there's a concept of linguistic relativity that there's a deep connection between language and thought. And there's a lot of research that indicates that language shapes thought as much as thought shapes language. So the question I have to you is, what do you mean when you say art is language? And I'd like you to talk about that in your own life as an artist and as a dancer, and how that really is your language and your expression as a person.
Well, since a lot of time, like I say, I start dance at 5. So when you have this perspective of the space and the other ones, you start to change your way you see the things through another language. So if I want to communicate with all the audience that is here, maybe we have to look another language. It's not the same language that we are using all the time. We have to look at new forms. And this was really important questions. How about a new ways to communicate through the experience and to the body and to different cultures? So my thinking is, if you have a creative way or a way to see the world, you have also a new path to understand and be empathy with the other ones, how they communicate with another expressions.
Thank you so much. You know, one of the things we've done I've been involved in for the past about 15 years is what we call goodwill tours, where we've taken athletes or we've taken musicians, artists around the world, and we've collaborated with governments, with universities, with public organizations in sport and in music. And one of the things I often say is, the reason we do that is because we don't have to speak the same language to be able to communicate and understand each other. And it builds relationship just through the joy and expression of beauty together. I'd like you to talk and think a little bit about what the future of art, technology, and science looks like in collaboration. You're an innovative thinker. What does it look like in the future? Like, the videos you showed are crazy things happening, very creative, innovative ideas. But what does the future look like in this space that you're involved in?
Well, I am really interested in actually see how virtual and hybridization looks like. I don't want to think that technologies are bad because they are like that. It's like the technologies is like entities, and we like humans are correlated again to what we see and how we think. So I like to think, how is the future of this combination will be like? How we can be in a hybrid way and make another possibilities, not just take off of technology and take off the humanistic thing. And I see a really real collaboration, and I imagine that if the artificial intelligence can do things that maybe the humans we are making automatization, maybe we can start to think about more creativity, and maybe we can start to do jobs that maybe are more human. So I'm really positive to make the new deals, because we have to do in the conversation. We just don't want that the life go. We have to make the deals of what future we wanted through this combination.
That's a great answer. And this is the last question I'm going to ask you. It has to do with some things that are happening in Canada right now that are challenging for us to face, things around the world. And in what way does art help humanity to deal with things like truth, justice, and reconciliation. So the things that bring people together and unite them, even if there's been trauma between people groups. How does art play a role in our societies in truth, justice, and reconciliation?
Well, like Jorge said, art is like water. Think about that. So if you have a channel that can go and can express with that other, and art is an amazing way to express and touch difficult conversations. So maybe you cannot think the same, but if you want to have a difficult conversation through an artist project, it's a really good way to go through. So it's why the kids and different people go, maybe we cannot be agree in this resilience or how to make the things, but maybe we can have this emotion if we see a musician playing with the heart. So art has the ability to interchange and communicate again ways that maybe it was really different conversation, and also in open spaces. We need open spaces and experience.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us for our innovation series. It's been a pleasure to hear you, to see your videos, and to share this creative and innovative space with you. And I know if we gave you time, you could share so many more things with us. And we look forward to being able to host you here in Canada in a future installment of our innovation series. Thank you so much, Maria, for joining us today.
Thank you, and all the team. It was amazing, all the work that you make, and of course the audience that I want to know everyone.
Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Maria Jose, for your talk and the intellectually edifying and inspiring discussion. Your talk enabled us to explore the topic of art thinking and behavioral sciences on a new realm and how it can be applied and linked with other sectors. Thanks, Dr. Laird, for sharing your past experiences and driving this Q&A into the edifying discussion that it was today. It was great to hear your views on innovation for better interconnectedness within our shared spaces and the scope it offers for larger scalability in any region. I thank our participants for shaping this Q&A into the idea-generating platform that it was today. And thanks for collaborating with us. And please continue to email your questions and suggested topics you would like for us to cover in our future installments. We hope to continue to forge new partnerships through this platform with all of you. Our thanks to our global international partners for supporting this series and collaborating with us. This session has reminded us of the importance of innovation and design thinking and how it can be applied into any sector. We also realize the need for collaboration across multiple sectors and how the education sector continues to play a large role in facilitating the convergence of these various sectors. We are hopeful that through active research and development, we can identify common underlying needs that serves a greater good. By identifying these needs, it yields new opportunities for learners and professionals in any stage of their life to discover their purpose and identity with an interconnected community. It's been a privilege to host you for the 7th installment of the 2021 series on innovation and leadership. For those who are students joining us today for this session, please take the time to register for upcoming TWU Innovation Series and make sure we have your correct registration and email information. We hope to see you for our upcoming sessions on June 17th, before we break for the summer and restart again in August. On June 17th, we are pleased to have our own Dr. Laird presenting on the topic, Innovation in the Future of Higher Education. I assure you it's going to be another eye-opener as we gain new insights on another sector where innovation is being applied to and how it's changing the lives of learners all around the world. We are sure you will be impacted in your innovative thinking and behavior as a result of these sessions. The link at the bottom of the screen provides the web address where the next innovation series installment is listed. And we will be sending out emails to remind you of the upcoming session. This is Sushil Rajaratnam signing off for the June 3rd TWU Innovation Session. Keep looking up for a brighter future. Good day and good night.